Okay, go ahead and tell me who you are and who you're with.
I'm Eric Feng. I'm the CTO of Hulu, and thanks so much, Chris, for having me here today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thanks for stopping by the pier. So, last time you were here, we talked a little bit about some of the engagement statistics that you guys were having, back in March, I think it was, February, March. Now that you've been up and going for a while, what are some of the things you've noticed in terms of user engagement? How long are people sticking around? How many things are they watching? What types of things are they watching? What are some basic stats you can give us?
Sure. We've been really excited at the user response to Hulu.com and our service since our launch on March 12th. And we've been really blessed to have a lot of great user feedback and user interest in the site. And the latest ComScore Nielsen statistics show that users are spending more than an hour of their time on our service watching a range of videos. So we had over almost 90 million streams according to ComScore in May. So just a lot of great interest in the service and pretty long engagement time. So we've been really excited about that. It just shows that the power of aggregation and bringing together this content can really pique users' interest and bring them to the service like Hulu.
So is that people watching one particular, did you say 90 minutes?
It's over an hour.
Over an hour. So is that usually one piece of content, or is it like a movie for that period of time, or an hour-long drama, or is it more two sitcoms, or what,
Sure. It varies, and really our philosophy at Hulu is that if you have 2 minutes to spare, 22 minutes to spare, or 2 hours to spare, we want to make sure that we have content available for you. So we have a wider selection of both clips, full-length episodes, as well as movies. So over 150 full-length streaming movies now, 350 different show titles, and thousands and thousands of clips as well. So it really depends on the user, but in total, on an average basis, it's been over an hour of engagement time for each user. So it could be movies, it could be episodes, it could be a variety of clips, but the important thing is that we give users that choice.
And how many ads is somebody seeing in that hour? So on average,
that's a great question. So in a typical broadcast network environment, for an hour-long show, you get about 44 minutes of content. For a half-hour show, you get about 22 minutes of content, 8 minutes of ads. And at Hulu, for a half-hour or a full-hour show, you get about 25% of the ads that you would in a broadcast or a network environment. So for a 22-minute show, you'd only get 2 minutes of ads, and for a 44-minute show, you'd only get 4 minutes of ads. So it is significantly less than you do get in a broadcast environment.
Are you working to kind of diversify the number of ads in a particular episode? Because right now they're very repetitive. Is that something that?
Yep, the ad experience is something that we are continuously innovating on. We have a team that does nothing but focus full time on making that ad experience more effective for our advertisers, less intrusive for the users, and just better all around. So it is something that we will continue to change and improve. And we've also been fortunate not only to bring on some great content providers, but also some premier advertisers like Walmart and Best Buy and Bank of America. So hopefully we can continue to work with those advertisers to figure out new and interesting ways to get their message across to users.
Now, I know we're in the summer, so we don't have new shows out every day, or the big shows that come out in the fall. And back when you guys first launched, everything was all about Airwolf. Everybody was talking about Airwolf all the time. Airwolf was great.
Great show.
Everybody loves the Jan Michael Vincent.
That's right.
One, is Airwolf still as popular? And two, what are you finding as far as how far back people are going, like as far as catalogs go? Like
right.
What is it? Are we looking at recent past? Are people catching up on a TV season, or are they going further back to like the 90s or 80s, or even the Mary Tyler Moore Show? What do you?
That's a great question. Airwolf is, I'm happy to report, is still a very popular show at Hulu. It is certainly not the most popular show, but it is a popular show. And the important thing, and what we want to try to get across, is that users should be in control. Users should really be able to watch media how they want, when they want, where they want. And that's really what Hulu stands for. And as such, we've not only aggregated currents, but a lot of archive shows. So I don't know if you know this, but two of the top 5 most popular shows at Hulu.com are actually non-network primetime shows. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Arrested Development. And Arrested Development, the show, actually hasn't even been on air for a large number of years. So it really shows that it's not just the current network shows, the hit-driven shows that bring you audiences and attract people to the Hulu service. In addition, in the top 20 shows, we have a lot of archive classics back from the 90s and 80s, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Roswell, and just a lot of great, interesting programming. And then if you click over to the movie side of it, we have a very diverse offering there as well. So when you talk about old stuff, one of the movies that we just launched as part of a fun program we're doing this summer called The Days of Summer was a very old movie called Fiddler on the Roof, which I hope you're aware of, and if you've seen it. If you're not, you should go to Hulu and check it out. But It's a movie that is just a great classic, and it's one of the most popular movies on our service. So it does show sort of the breadth and diversity of our audience.
And do you want to sing a little bit for us right now?
I got to go back in the costume and get changed, but maybe this
We'll
afternoon.
wait.
All right.
Speaking of which, people being able to access content when and where and how they want. What are you doing to move beyond the PC? We've seen a lot of deals as far as set-top boxes that are going to start streaming content.
Right.
Amazon's getting into streaming video on demand. What is Hulu looking at as far as moving beyond just the PC environment?
The off-PC environment, I think, is really interesting, and as a technologist, I couldn't be happier that there are now so many options, so many great platforms that you could potentially get a service like Hulu onto. 5-10 years ago, your options were pretty limited, but now you have so many really cool internet-connected devices that have pretty advanced processing that can do actually some very complex things off the PC. So as a technologist, I'm really excited to see this platform continue to grow. But as someone that is also very intent on running a business at Hulu, we just have to be laser focused. We have to make sure that we don't stretch ourselves too thin, and that we're really focused on solving user problems. And right now we think that there's already a huge opportunity for us in browser-based streaming. That experience, we just haven't licked yet, and we know that we can make it better and deliver better performance for our users. So we're very much focused on that. But down the line, who knows where we'll go. And again, our mission is to make content accessible to users when, where, and how they want. And we've gotten a lot of user requests and feedback saying that it'd be really cool if we could get Hulu off the PC onto these other devices. So we're definitely listening.
Okay. Are you talking with any set-top box manufacturers right now?
The set-top box stuff is really cool because we have this usability lab, and we like to go out and get a lot of them and start playing around with them. And part of it is to investigate the capabilities, but also part of it is just so we can have some fun. So for instance, we have Rock Band in our usability lab. And I don't know if you ever see a Hulu Rock Band interface, but certainly is something that we're very proud to have in our usability lab and to play around with.
So, and also tell me, what's happening with the HD gallery? I haven't seen that updated in quite some bit. There are only so many times I can watch Independence Day and Die Hard clips. What's happening in that area?
We did add one NBA Best of 2007. So
well, that's great. I can catch up on the year.
That's right. So if you wanted a little bit of variation, we have added that.
I've got money on that game. I'm just waiting to see who won.
You should probably be able to find out by now. That's another really good question, and something that we're definitely aware of, and something that we're also looking to address. I can't commit to any firm timelines, but higher quality video all the way up to HD is something that Hulu is absolutely committed to. We definitely saw 2005, 2006 is really about making online video convenient, just putting up shows, putting up content that was never accessible before. But I think in 07, 08, and going forward, there's going to be a new battleground, and that's really around the quality of the content. And in Hulu, we definitely want to be at the forefront of that. So although we haven't done a lot of work to update the HD gallery recently, we have been very busy investing in a new stream, which we call our high-res or 480p stream, which is a 1 megabyte stream that is at full standard definition resolution. So at over 50% of the videos at Hulu right now, if you go to our site, you can watch that video content in this new 480p stream. And it is just an ongoing commitment for us to continue to push out higher and higher quality. And certainly HD is on our roadmap. It is one of our goals, and something that we're not going to rest until we have an interesting offering in HD.
And one last question for you. So recent data suggested that 2/3 of your audience is male. I can't remember who it was, like Hitwise or somebody came out with that data.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
Are those numbers that you're seeing reflected? And if so, are you looking, or what are you looking to kind of branch out of such a male demographic?
We like guys. We like ladies as well. We enjoy every user that comes to our service. And it is interesting that there was that study done, and it was one that actually we weren't involved with. We didn't participate at all. It was just a third-party study that was done, and it was an interesting conclusion. And I can't comment on whether or not that was fully accurate, but two things I think are really exciting about that. One, people care enough about Hulu to actually commission a third-party survey and try to figure out more about our audience, which is really cool. I'm glad that they're doing that. And the second is that certainly we are attracting a specific audience. I think that when we first launched in our beta period, it was very tech focused, so a lot of early adopters in the service, and maybe now That survey suggests that the numbers skew male, but I think that we have content available for everyone on the service. We have great shows that appeal to a large demographic. I mentioned like Fiddler on the Roof, that that probably skews not necessarily the tech savvy crowd, but to a much more general demographic. So at Hulu, our belief is that hopefully we're creating a service that's going to be appealing to everyone out there.
One last question, I lied before. Since your launch, and now you've been up and running for a few months, what's something that surprised you about the Hulu? And you can kind of go from any tech or a user or any kind of perspective. What's really surprised you?
One of the things that's been really surprising is just how passionate and excited our fans are. Actually everyone on the development team, we actually personally answer every single support email we get. So if you guys are looking for us, email us at support@hulu.com, and I guarantee you will get a response back from someone on the team, if not myself. I spent a lot of time on that, and it's been really cool to see how excited our users are. And there have been issues that have come up on the site that our users have reported, and they've worked with us for days, weeks. They've got on the phone with us. They've led us to terminal server into their computer. They've invited us over to the home to try to look at what's going on with their service. And I've worked on internet products before, and it's just very rare to encounter such passionate users and users that are so helpful and willing to really improve your service and really make it better. So, thank you all out there. I've just been really excited by that, and it's actually been very surprising to have that type of a response.
Excellent. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us. Hopefully, we can do this again.